Okay, so today I'm here, Tuesday, September 20th, I believe. I don't know, I can't keep up with the days anymore. What do the days matter, right? Today I'm here to clean the headstone of Margaret T. Collicutt. I have been here the past 2 weeks cleaning the headstones of William J. Collicutt, who I believe must have been your husband, Margaret, as well as he must have been your daughter, Lula May Collicutt. And so after I finish cleaning your headstone today, Margaret, I'll come back next week and I will finish up your family here by cleaning Jessie Collicutt next week. I'm kind of in awe right now just looking at your headstone, seeing you have April 10th, 1866 as the date of your birth, and June 7th, 1946 as the date of your death. Well, April is my daughter's birth date and June is my birth date. So I am all about numbers and dates and all of that. Margaret, I find this even more beautiful today, as I'll get into in just a moment. But Margaret, I do want to clean your headstone today. I hope you did have a good life, Margaret. I hope you did not fear your death. And I hope you are living in eternal peace, resting as you need to as an angel, and also having fun and continuing to live in parallel ways with this life on earth. With that, Margaret, I'm going to go ahead and get started on cleaning your headstone. And today I'm going to try a different cleaning solution. I know I've been using the same solution for years, and I've also been criticized, as many people are criticized, for using bleach in their cleaning solutions for headstones. So today I'm going to try something. I replaced the bleach with vinegar. So I want to see how this works. It's Dawn dish detergent with vinegar and water. And if it doesn't work, then of course I have my backup, Margaret, of my other solution. It is a beautiful day here in sunny Florida. And I'm grateful to be here. I'm always grateful to be at the cemetery. Always, always, always grateful to be here at the cemetery. Actually, I'm going to get something really quick here, Margaret. All right, so what I want to do first is there's all this dirt from just the rain down here. I get all that off first, and also I'm going to pull down to the base of your headstone. Margaret, what do you think, huh? I'm going to move this back a little bit too. Here we go. So, Margaret, I do want to start off, whenever I'm driving to the cemetery on my days of cleaning headstones, I do think about, well, life. That's what death does, is makes us think of life. And that's really how it should be. And so on my way here this morning, I started thinking about last week when I cleaned, I believe, your daughter Lula May, her headstone, and I uploaded it to my YouTube channel. My very special, who I refer to as my surrogate daughter, Laura, who's in college right now, very special young girl who's always been special to me from the day even before I met her. She was still, when her mother was pregnant with her. And so I love Laura. And Laura told me that she had watched my cemetery headstone cleaning video from last week. And she said that it made sense to her. And that what I say makes sense And that really was something that, I really needed to hear at that point. I do live a very full life. I am very busy always, productive, doing something always, and always talking out loud to myself, to my dogs and cats and rooster and hens, and to all of wildlife. And that has gained me, in my life, quite a reputation of being crazy. So I am beginning to understand that having a reputation of being crazy is not always a bad thing. What it really means is that a lot of people just don't understand. And so I understand that that's okay, that people don't understand me. That's why I continue to share me. Because when I share me, I continue to learn that I am able to help others understand life. That was really special for me to hear that, Margaret, from my special surrogate daughter, Laura. She said that watching my videos, quote unquote, oddly enough, gives her peace. And she also said that what I say makes sense. And so really that's all I need to know every day of my life, in every venue, every way possible. I just need to know that who I am and what I do makes sense to others in life. If I did not make sense to anybody in life, well then I wouldn't make sense to myself, right, Margaret? And I do want to make sense to anyone who crosses my paths in life, and vice versa, anybody's life that I cross paths with. So, with that being said, here I am today at the cemetery doing what I really have a passion for doing, which is cleaning headstones. And I did have last week also my first ever cemetery presentation to a philanthropical group who asked me to speak about my cleaning of headstones. And I was so nervous. I mean, I was like not even nervous at all until I pulled up on the night of this presentation. And then I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna say? Like, how do you give a presentation on cleaning headstones? Like, what? I feel like that presentation went very well. I definitely was a little bit all over the place. I didn't really have complete structure of what I wanted to say, but I did get to say and share everything that I wanted to. And so I left that presentation feeling good. Simply just good for sharing life and sharing my notions of death being but a breath. Because to me, that is what death is but a breath. Life is many breaths, many inhales, many exhales. But death in itself is a single breath. Either an inhale or an exhale. And then we all transition over to a totally different, unexplainable universe. So, after I was here last week cleaning Lula Mae Collicutt's headstone, I was then tagged in a post on social media about a TV series. A producer was looking for a hippie-style home to film a small scene for this show called Cubicles. And it was actually my rooster, Polly, his first mother, Carrie, who tagged me in this post. And I immediately responded and said, oh my gosh, yes, this place that we're living at now, this farm that we're renting, it's the perfect little hippie spiritual place, because it is. It is. So this lady, the producer, she immediately responded to my post with a private message and arranged for a time to come out and see the farm that we're living on. Oh no, somebody just arrived here. Nobody arrives at the cemetery, right? So with that all being said, this past weekend, the other day, this young lady came out to our home, and Margaret, she ended up saying to me that she said everything about this place is spiritual, and she goes, you know, oddly enough, the day I connected with you is the same day we created a whole new character on this show, and her name is Marge. Margaret? Marge. And she said, I think you would be the perfect character. And I'm going to send you the script, and if you're interested, you can audition for it. She even said something like she was going to tell the executive producers she already knew who Marge was. It was me. This is working nicely, this new solution that I have. With all that being said, also, my grandmother's name is Margaret. Not was Margaret. Her name is Margaret. Our names are always going to be our names. When we die, it doesn't become past tense. Only our life does become past tense. So with all that being said, I had just told my mom that morning that I'd been thinking about my grandma a lot lately, and I even saw a license plate that had my grandma's last name on it, Kerr, K-E-R, which is something that's always usually spelled with a double R, but my grandma's last name is never spelled with a double R, it's K-E-R. So then this whole situation with this producer coming out and saying that I was the perfect character, I was this character basically, it was all very surreal. Very, very surreal. I like the way this vinegar is working, this vinegar solution. Margaret, there was just somebody here visiting their loved one's headstone behind me, so that is why I stopped talking. I'm not here to socialize at the cemetery. If somebody wants to say hello to me, they will, but I do not just go running up to people and start talking to them. This is a very sacred place, as it should be, a cemetery. And so I'm not here to embrace in any social conversation unless somebody approaches me at the cemetery. So that's why I stopped talking there. But this lady has now just left. She came to deliver flowers to her loved one. Margaret, let me get some water and see what's going on here. Margaret, when I cleaned your daughter Lula's headstone last week, there was a black and blue butterfly that kept flying over. And just now I saw a yellow and black butterfly for you. So I do love seeing and utilizing my knowledge of spirit animals to acknowledging for us and having us recognize that there is another universe and it is heaven, and that there are our loved ones still here and present with us. If you know me, which, see, Margaret, you already know me because I've been visiting your family for the past 2 weeks. This is the 3rd week now. And so you already know me just by listening to me talk to your husband and your daughter and cleaning their headstones. And I find it fascinating that today, of all days, how the sequence goes, how I choose which headstones to clean. And today it is you, Margaret, which goes along the whole happenings of my life this past week, which has been all about Marge. And Marge, this character from this TV show called Cubicles, as well as Marge is what my grandmother Margaret used to be called, her nickname. So I don't know, Margaret Collicutt, did anybody ever call you Marge? I don't know. Like, I know my name is Natalie, and still to this day, at 49 years old, I can count on both hands the amount of people that have called me Nat or Nats. When we create nicknames for people, that's often a very special bond that you have. Like, I would be a little bit shocked if somebody just, oh my gosh, there's a bald eagle flying over right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've never in my life seen a bald eagle like this. I don't even know if I'm capturing it. Oh my gosh. That is without a doubt a bald eagle. Wow. Well, Margaret, what that tells me is that you are a very strong soul. We remain the same souls in heaven as we were in life. And so, Margaret, this is your way of letting me know how strong of a soul and a person you were in life, as well as how strong a soul and an angel you are in heaven. So that's pretty beautiful, Margaret. Marge? I don't know. I like this cleaning solution. It's working very well. And I've never had a problem with using bleach before, but I do know what issues can arise from using bleach. So this is kind of nice for me to see. This is a more natural cleaning solution that shouldn't hurt your actual headstone, Margaret. Oh my gosh, now I feel like I can call you Marge. That's crazy. And I actually can see a vision of you right now. You're actually, well, in the vision I see of you right now, you're looking at me like this. going, like you're just taking me all in, Marge. You do like that I'm calling you Marge. And this is what I mean about everything happens for a reason. We can't know the reasons why anything happens, really. But when we embrace the unknowing, knowing, then we are able to find more peace and joy in our lives. Because I think that is the biggest problem with us in life, is that we do fear death, and we do fear the knowing that when somebody dies, we can no longer see them in life, we can no longer hug them, embrace them, see them face to face in communication. And yet I believe my soul purpose, S-O-U-L, purpose in life has been to share with others that death is not the end of life. Death is but a breath. Death is what takes us in transition to a whole other universe that we simply cannot know while we are here in this universe on Earth. I do know that I am not a normal person. I've been called many things: eccentric, unique, different, not normal. But the truth is, I do live in two different universes, and most people only live in one, from Earth anyway. So I know I sound crazy, I do. But Marge, I believe you're here today with me to validate for me that I'm not in any ways a bad crazy. I'm not like a lunatic. I'm not like, I don't need to be hospitalized. I'm just a lot to take in. I'm a lot to process. And that's only fitting because, to be honest, my whole life for me is a lot to take in and a lot to process. I'm constantly taking in life in such ways that I live for the unknowings of life to become knowings. And we can receive validation from life itself. Whenever I share spirit communications with others in life, they can validate for me what I share with them is real. But when it comes to cleaning headstones, Margaret, Marge, you were born in 1866. So I definitely cannot validate anything that I hear from you or your family. I never knew you or your name. But my simple presence here today with you does validate for me that the truth is, in life we don't need as much validation from life as we grow up believing we do. We do need to tap into ourselves more, Margaret. We do need to embrace our own mind, body, and soul more, and not allow ourselves to continuously be on that wheel of judgment and shame and blame. We need to just get more in tune with ourselves and accept ourselves and continue carrying onward and upward soldier, right? Margaret, that bald eagle, whoa. That's a very special spirit animal, like the hawk. The eagle is a spirit animal that I really have only seen now. That's my third time in my entire life to ever see a bald eagle just on its own in nature, flying around. And that is not a coincidence. Everything does happen for a reason. Marge, I do believe that. So I'm grateful to know, while cleaning your headstone today, Marge, without needing validation from life itself, I am able to validate from what I've learned to understand. These are all signs. gosh, I can't even believe I've been cleaning headstones for like 4 years now, and I never, ever, ever thought to use vinegar. That's very exciting. I'm actually hearing you now, Marge, say something to me. You're actually showing me. Well, you're in a kitchen cooking, and you're showing me that you're adding vinegar to something. I don't know what. It's on the stove top. I don't know what it is. And that's just it also, Marge, we can't know everything, and we don't need to know everything to validate. We simply need to remain on that track in life that I refer to as the treasure hunts in life. We need to remain open to receiving in the very same ways we are open to receiving gifts on our birthday or on Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever else. That's life gifting us. But when we begin to believe in heaven in the ways that I do, we begin to embrace the little trinkets and treasures, which are often referred to as signs along the ways. I believe when we begin to connect to the universe of heaven in such ways, we are able to shed not our skin, rather we're able to shed our souls from being stuck in this constant state of fearing life itself, judging and blaming and shaming us for the most ridiculous things, right? Marge. I do believe. And I'm not here to believe, to allow myself to be shot down and affected by what others think. What I share is what I share, and to be honest, when I upload my videos of headstone cleanings, Margaret, you either watch it or you don't. And if you watch it and you judge me, I actually now have learned to take that as a compliment, because by judging me for what I do means you simply don't understand. And that is my purpose, is to help others understand. When I was at the dentist yesterday with my normal 6-month cleaning, my hygienist said to me that people should utilize connecting with mediums. This is before she even knew. I don't even think she knows who I am, really, but so I found that even more beautiful when she started to talk about the need for us to connect to the other side. And we do refer to it as whatever we want. The other side, heaven, another universe, parallel universe, another world, however we want to describe it. It is what it is. And the truth is, all that matters is that we create that vision for ourselves of what we want to believe it is. So meaning, Margaret, whatever I believe, I'm not here to tell others to believe. I'm simply here to share what I believe, and to let others know that what I believe is real. And what I believe does provide me, myself, and I with a whole lot of peace in knowing my own self. And that's where we get lost in life, Margaret, is we get swayed from thinking in good thoughts. We get caught on that wheel, I call it, like the hamster wheel. We get caught on that same wheel of life, and we just don't know how to get off it. And so we're exhausted, and we feel like people don't get us, don't understand us, and all they do is judge us. And it's like, okay, so let people judge. The truth is, there is only one judge, and that is God. And that's something that's not for me to validate for anybody else. That is something we can only validate for ourselves. Margaret, what was that you were cooking? Because that was a very clear image that I just received of you with vinegar on the stove. I actually can see now your kitchen, and I see very low lighting, a low ceiling, and you're wearing an apron. That's really beautiful, actually, Margaret. You're letting me know that you were a good person, that you were a good mother. And you're also reminding me that past tense is not what we need to utilize when referring to anyone, all of us who die. It's not about Margaret Collicutt was a good person. The truth is, Margaret Collicutt was a good person. And when you died, Margaret, you left your person, your body behind, and your soul went with you to heaven. So you still remain a beautiful soul. And when you were a beautiful person in life, you had your soul as well. So you remain a beautiful soul from your life to your eternal life in heaven. I don't know if any of this makes sense to anybody. It makes sense to me. I'm very happy with this headstone today. This is beautiful, Margaret. I did find some pretty fall-colored flowers, my fresh faux flowers. I'm going to leave these ones for you today, Margaret. And I'm going to thank you for this. Well, I believe to both of us, your soul and my soul, your soul from heaven, my soul from life, a really beautiful moment of connecting two parallel worlds. And to me, that is what it's all about. Margaret and William and Lula May. And next week I will get Jesse, your son. Thank you, Margaret, for your life. I really do hope you had a good life. I believe you did after what you just shared with me and had me see in my own visions. And I'm grateful to be here again today to help continue cleaning your entire family's headstones. I remember last week with William, his headstone's like literally about to fall over, but I can't mess with that. I don't want it to completely fall over, because then I'd feel guilty, you know? There we go. I just got all that extra dirt from the rain off of your husband's headstone. And the only reason I'm doing this now is because you actually, literally what people will say, "You're crazy, Natalie." I hear this often at the cemetery when I'm cleaning headstones, and I do hear you. You did say, "Hey, could you touch William up a little bit?" But you actually are calling him Bill. So, it's called respect. And the ways that I feel, it's not really fair to be judged as being anything other than me, myself, and I, a real person. But I do understand in life we are put onto that wheel, and we have to have diagnoses and explanations for everything. And yet I don't believe we really do need explanations for everything in such ways. And so, Margaret, that is where I continue to say to life itself, say what you will, think what you do, share what you must, and otherwise, be kind, be accepting, and open your own mind, body, and soul to receiving information that may not make sense to you. But as soon as you receive it with an openness that allows you to no longer judge and think negative thoughts about people. So I don't know about this part, Margaret. I don't know. I've never been asked in my life to audition for anything. And yet this lady who was at the home the other day, Margaret, she was like, oh no, Natalie, you are Marge. Like, you are Marge. And I said, well, who is Marge? And she said, oh, Marge is this new character we just created, and she's a very spiritual lady. And she said, you are her. And so she did say she's going to send me the script to read, and she told me to make any corrections to it, additions to it. And I really thought she was kidding. I thought she was kind of maybe making fun of me, you know, like I'm used to that. But she wasn't, and it is real. After she left, I looked it all up, and this show is real. It's called Cubicles, and they are pitching this show to such venues as HBO, Netflix, Hulu, and it is about a quirky insurance group in Florida, and everybody is a quote-unquote colorful character. So, I mean, in that sense, hello, I can't even deny I'm a colorful character, right? And there goes the hawk that just flew literally about 2 feet away from me right behind the camera. So that is my cue to know that everything I've shared with you today, Margaret, this morning, and everything I do believe is real. Is real, not Israel. Thank you, Margaret, for your life. And thank you for this moment of allowing me to release and share my life in such ways that perhaps I don't get enough time in life to share with bodies, human lives on earth. I hope you continue to not only rest in peace, Margaret and Marge, I hope you continue to enjoy all the benefits of being an angel, and thank you for your life.